Hey everybody, this is Matt, and today's video I have for you a Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG April 2025 ban list prediction. That's right, folks. So we've been in ban list purgatory once again in the TCG. We've been here before, so it's a very familiar place where since we got our last ban list in December, the beginning of December 2024, mind you. So it's been literally like, what, 4 or 5 months since we got a ban list in the TCG. The OCG has gotten 2 ban lists, and Master Duel has gotten like 5 ban lists, like in that time. So again, I don't know what the TCG, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they saw how successful the last ban list was, how happy players were, right? They made a show of it at the YCS, I don't know, Orlando or wherever the fuck that was. Maybe it was Vegas. Who knows? But the point is, it was successful. Now, if you want the game to not die, and again, I mentioned in my community post that like we have I went to my locals after a long time of not going because I finally got my Blue Eyes deck in real life. I went to my Saturday locals and it was completely dead. Right, nobody showed up. Like me and one other person showed up. Of course, that other person was a degenerate Ryzeal Fiendsmith player, and then what is it? And then and again, this is a locals that used to have 20 plus players. So anyway, right, so let's get into ban list predictions since every other Yu-Gi tuber is doing it, right? I want to chime in because I've been paying very close attention to the TCG, right? I've been playtesting Blue Eyes. I've been playtesting Odeon. The Odeon deck is fucking amazing. It's cracked, so stay tuned for content on that in the future. Like the Odeon deck and the Blue Eyes deck, there are 2 TCG decks that are literally encouraging me and wanting to keep me in the game, right? So I feel like if we get this next TCG ban list, which should hopefully be in April, right? We will be able to have a Kaiba deck and an Odeon deck, 2 anime decks as tier 1 decks of the format, right? All we gotta do is just hit Maliss and Ryzeal, get those two decks under control, right? And then the game, I think the TCG format, if they can fix this, will be in a very, very good state going forward and for the foreseeable future. Plus, they announced there might be some Dark Magician stuff coming out in the future. Who knows? I don't know. I guess there's like a cat themed Boba Tea deck coming out. I don't know anything about that deck, right? So don't ask me. Now, we're gonna handle this ban list prediction in a similar way to that I've done in my previous TCG ban list predictions. I'm gonna go over cards that I wish to see. So I'm gonna do my wish list, my ban list wish list, right? For the TCG, like what I believe should be banned, limited, etc. And then I'm going to go over my actual prediction. Okay, what is Konami actually going to do, right? Because again, Konami is many things. Number one, they're corrupt, greedy, incompetent, just awful, just an awful company. Doesn't know how to manage a card game. They're hemorrhaging players. They can't get new players, right? Fucking Pokemon TCG, other TCGs are doing everything better, right? So yeah, Konami is like one of the worst companies ever, right? In terms of being able to actually manage and run a card game. So yeah, I have to, when I do the actual prediction, which will be on the right side here, it'll take that into account, right? And it'll hopefully give us something where, okay, from the mindset of Konami, right? If I was Konami, if I was such a company, how would I actually, what can I actually foresee them doing? Okay, anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with probably the unlimits, because the unlimits I think will be the easiest one to tackle, and I think the unlimit wish list and my unlimit prediction will be almost identical. So let's go over the obvious ones. So unlimit wish list. I wish to see Eva unlimited now that Beatrice is out of the game. Eva got moved to 2, I think. It was previously limited. Last ban list got moved to 2. Nobody cared. Now that Eva is on the semi-limits, no one's caring. Beatrice is gone. Eva can easily come back to 3, right? Yeah, so I'm going to put that wish list and prediction. Let's bring the 2 danger monsters, Sukinocho and Jackalope. Where is Jackalope? Yeah. Those 2 cards can easily come unbanned, or rather from the semi-limit to the limit list. In general, I don't think the semi-limit list should exist. The only thing justifying the semi-limit list at all, for the past like I don't know months or years or however long, is Destiny Hero Malicious, right? Destiny Hero Malicious was like, as I mentioned in my previous ban list prediction videos, the only card that justifiably should stay on the semi-limit list, or like the semi-limit list should only exist for that one card, right? But then a few lists back, Destiny Hero Malicious got unlimited, so it's at 3, and heroes are fine. They're not taking over the format, like it's perfectly fine. So now that the malicious problem has been resolved, do we really need a semi-limit list at all, right? So yeah, so these 3 cards were all semi-limited, nothing changed. So was there was one more, Monkey Board. Yeah, Monkey Board, Pendulum Suck. Yeah, so that went to 2 last list. I think it can come to 3. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, Monkey Board was fine. And Cyberjar, of course. Cyberjar was another card that got semi-limited on the last list, and again, nothing changed. I don't know why Konami does this like gradual, slow drip of like, oh, a card was banned, now it's limited, you know, and like, oh, on the next list, months later, it was limited, now it's semi-limited, nothing changed. Oh, on the next list, months later, it's semi-limited, now it's unlimited, right? For some reason, they keep taking like these really awkward stepping stones when it's like it's very clear sometimes that like these cards should just come back to 3, right? Um, yeah, so I want to see these cards at 3, and I firmly believe that these are very reasonable things to see out of Konami. Konami might actually make this happen, so that'll probably be on my prediction list as well. There's a couple other unlimits that I'm not going to fully predict, so I I think that Zodiac Barrage should come back to 3, but Konami will probably semi-limit it. So I'm going to put Zodiac Barrage here as my unlimited wish list, but I'm going to put under my semi-limit prediction, right? So Zodiac Barrage got brought back to 1 after being banned, and it was just one of those cards that was like, wow, cool, it doesn't do or change anything. So yeah, let's just but for some reason, good, Konami loves to do this slow drip of like, oh, yeah, let's put it at 2 before ultimately putting it at 3, right? Yeah, so I do want to see that unlimited. I also want to see, where is it? Chicken Game unlimited, but Konami kind of forgot about this card. A few ban lists ago, they moved it from ban to limited, and then they just kind of left it there. Like it didn't do anything. It just kind of sat there. Maybe they're like afraid of like, I don't know, Sky Striker or some other deck to abuse it or something. But honestly, I think Chicken Game can come into 3. I think it's at 3 already in Master Duel, and like nobody cares, right? So even though I do have it on my unlimited wish list, I think they're not going to actually change it. So, yeah, so I'm going to predict Konami to not touch Chicken Game at all, even though they probably could, and it'd be totally fine. All right. Okay, so that was easy. The unlimits. Those are everything I have for unlimits. Oh, I have some Pirelli cards here. Yeah, I hate Pirelli as an archetype, so I'm just gonna put the Pirelli cards here. Yeah, just so these Pirelli cards are currently semi-limited. Delicious Memory, Sleeping Memory. They should be limited. Just because I hate the archetype, and I don't think the semi-limit list should exist, right? But I actually think that they're not gonna touch Pirelli at all. So let's put so let's do no change prediction here. Yeah, Delicious Memory, Sleeping Memory, probably not going to be touched. I think they want like to leave it at 2 so that they can sometimes like 2 out of 3 times like when they select 3 cards like hit the card that they want or something. I don't know. I think it's stupid, but like I think it should just be 1. But yeah, I don't think they're actually going to touch the Pirelli cards at all. I think they're just going to leave it on the semi limit. Right. Any other spicy ones from the semi limit? Oh yeah, semi limits. I want to see Runic Fountain limited or banned. I can put it limited for now, and then we can ban it later if it ever becomes a problem. Knowing Konami, they're not going to change it at all because Runic Fountain. So Runic's currently not a problem deck. I mean, it can be returned to being a problem deck if left untouched, right? So I want to see, Fountain to 1, but most likely than not, Runic Fountain will not be touched. Runic Fountain is at 1 in Master Duel, and I think that's the perfect ratio for it, where Runic is not getting out of hand. But if it ever does, then it could be hit with the ban hammer. It's just a stupid card, like get rid of it. All right. Right. Let's talk about some other cards. I don't want to break this down. Let's go with that grass. I think that grass looks greener will not be touched by Konami. So it was brought from 0 to 1 a few lists ago, ban lists ago. But I think with that grass, in the OCG, they recently they did bring grass to 2 in the OCG, and then they recently brought it to 1. So the most recent OCG ban list, which is for came out like a week or 2 ago or whatever, like very recently, they actually moved grass on that list from 2 to 1 in the OCG, which is very interesting. So I think grass will not be touched. So I don't want it to be touched. I want to leave it at 1. Yeah, like for me, it should be 1 or 3. I don't think grass is so problematic a card that it should be banned altogether. Yeah, so let's leave it where it is at 1. So yeah, that grass will stay. Before I get into some of the meta cards that like everyone is probably here to hear about, I'm gonna talk about a few outlier cards. Outlier cards are cards that they're technically not dominating the meta or like a problem now, but I feel like they should be preemptively addressed before they become problematic. What I mean by that? Well, let's start with Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. So I think Albion the Sanctifier Dragon should be banned, but I think Konami will not touch it because they are spineless and cowardly. So Branded obviously is not a top deck, right? It's not really a meta contender. It's like it's like on the fringes of being meta, right? Like Branded. It's just waiting on Ryzeal and Ryzeal, Fiendsmith, and like Maliss to be brought down, and then Branded is gonna take over again. Last list they banned Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, which was a stupid ban because again, there are multiple like targets that Albion the Sanctifier deck can use. There's like DDD, Vice King Requiem. There's Ito Tensei or whatever. There's other monsters that they can summon onto your field, which locks you out of summoning. So again, the problem card isn't. It's again very classic Konami. Instead of hitting the problem card, they try to hit older cards that were fine until this problem card came up and started abusing it. So just ban Sanctifier Dragon for fuck's sake. Like it's a stupid card. The same we banned that other branded card, branded expulsion, or I forgot what it's called, which also summoned monsters to your opponent's field, right? Because obviously that was a problem card, right? It wasn't Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, right? So yeah, so I think this card should be banned, but I think Konami is too dumb and has too little foresight to actually touch it right now. It might. So what's probably going to end up happening, more likely than not, Ryzeal, Fiendsmith, Maliss get hit. Their power levels get brought down. Brandon starts seeing somewhat of a resurgence, and then people are going to complain once again about Sanctifier Dragon, and then it's going to get hit on a subsequent list, perhaps, right? So that's my prediction. So that card's on the fringe, and should be kept an eye on. Other cards on the fringes. Let's talk about where is it? Kashtira Fenrir. I think Kashtira Fenrir should be limited, but I think Konami will not touch it. I think it's limited in both the OCG and Master Duel, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can correct me on the OCG, but yeah, Fenrir searching Fenrir is it's so stupid. Like it's a like I think Kashtira Unicorn is fine, but I think Kashtira Fenrir is a little too strong. Especially because you're like, oh, it's a good board breaker. I mean, a lot of these cards, quote unquote, that are board breakers that were supposedly made for going second to break your opponent's board can very easily be abused going first. So I don't buy that one bit. Yeah. So Kashtira, Fenrir. Again, if Ryzeal and Maliss get hit, do pure Kashtira like control decks make a resurgence? Maybe not. So I just want to reduce Fenrir, nip the Fenrir issue in the butt. Again, I've predicted Fenrir in previous lists. And I think that Fenrir will, even though should, probably won't. All right, so those are the fringe cards. Now for the next ones, let's go. I'm gonna go over as follows. I'm going to talk about go through each of the three main archetypes that are currently dominating the format, being Ryzeal, Fiendsmith, and Maliss. And then there's also Mermail, which I'll talk about later. And then for each archetype, I'm gonna talk about, all right, what cards should probably be hit, what cards will be hit, etc. So let's tackle archetypes. All right, let's start with the Fiendsmith engine. The Fiendsmith engine is an engine that is, in my opinion, should never have been designed, right? I don't think Fiendsmith Desiree is a problematic monster. Like, yeah, it's a strong monster, but I think the existence of Fiendsmith Desiree is fine. I think, if you build a Fiendsmith deck or a deck that specializes in fiends, you should be able to make the Desiree, right? The problem I have with Fiendsmith is the fact that every deck can just splash it, right? It's just so easily splashable that anyone can access it, anyone can use it, and it's like too generic. It's like the adventure engine on steroids. Like the adventure engine was a powerful engine that made a lot of rogue decks strong, and people can just splash into their decks. But at least with the adventure engine, you gave up something, right? So what did you give up? So you give up your normal summon effect, so which could be, some decks could, right? And then you put down this the adventure engine. It runs a couple bricks, right? Some cards that you don't want to see, right? But then you put in the Omni-Negate, Griffin Rider, right? Which, by the way, could negate Nibiru. So this idea ban Caesar because it could stop Nibiru. Griffin Rider can also stop Nibiru, and yet it was never banned, right? So stupid argument by stupid people. So yeah, so in Adventure, if you outed the Griffin, the engine was dead. It was like, all right, you have maybe a Draco back bounce. Although if you outed the Griffin, you could probably out the Draco back, and it doesn't matter, right? So it could be easily outed, right? Once it was outed, it wasn't coming back, right? And they gave up their normal summon. And then after that, it's like, oh, the cards are kind of breaky. Fiendsmith has infinite recursion. Every turn, they can just keep cycling through their cards infinitely. There's no stopping to the Fiendsmith engine. It literally doesn't stop. You can stop them on turn 1, and they just come back turn 2. Always. It's a guarantee they come back turn 2. Because of all their stupid graveyard effects combined with shuffling the light fiends back into the deck, right? They literally will not stop coming. They just keep going and going and going. Yeah, so that's my problem with the Fiendsmith engine. It's not that, oh, they can make Kaiser, which can stop Nibiru. Plenty of things to stop Nibiru, right? That's not my issue. It's the issue that there's no cost to having it, right? Oh, some people, it's a lot of extra deck space. Who cares? Most extra deck, is not even that tight. And think about it, even Maliss nowadays is running Fiendsmith. That's how, even though Maliss has supposed to have a million extra deck cards, they're still able to fit Fiendsmith in their extra deck somehow. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about, there's no cost. You don't commit normal summon, right? You don't lock yourself at your extra deck in the fiends or whatever. There's no extra deck locks. Infinite recursion. And then you get 2-3 interruptions off this engine for free, right? It's so free. There's no cost to it. Yeah. So how do we address it? So here's how I would like to see addressed. I would like to see, where is it? I like to see Requiem ban. That's what I would like to see. Now, I don't think they're going to actually touch Requiem, because for a lot of people, that just kills the engine, right? What I don't want to see Moon of the Closed Goddess. Do not touch Moon of the Closed Heaven, because even though this monster takes any 2 bodies, like Verde Anaconda, right? Or like Halki Fibrax, right? And allows you to go into the Fiendsmith engine, so any deck can splash Fiendsmith with any 2 bodies. Moon itself doesn't have the sin that Moon's sin is that it's a light fiend. Its effect is totally fine, right? Moon of the Closed Heaven was originally intended for making it so that you can go, you can link climb into Underworld Goddess in the Closed World, and you can use Moon's effect to use an additional body on your opponent's side of the field. So you use 2 of your bodies, and 2 of your opponent's bodies to make Underworld Goddess, right? So you could, it's like board clear, right? Like the Underworld Goddess line of linking, I think is very fair and like reasonable. And I think being able to use Moon to climb up to Underworld Goddess is very fair and reasonable. And I think it should exist in the game. I think that's perfectly fine. So banning Moon is not the option. So I say please do not touch Moon of the Closed Heaven. Now, question is, will Konami ban Moon of the Closed Heaven? I don't actually know. I would say that maybe. I could see Konami, because again, Konami has a history of banning the wrong cards. They banned Link Karibo, right? Because they refused to ban Original Sinful Spoils until they originally banned Original Sinful Spoils. So I can see Konami doing a hit like this. Like if I was a probability, if I was a Batman, I would say like I would put it 55% chance they ban Moon, 45% chance they don't ban Moon. So that's like, so even though it's very close, I would lean on them banning Moon over not banning Moon as a way to address Fiendsmith, quote unquote. Yeah, so I see them. I think they should leave Moon alone and ban Requiem, but they're going to leave Requiem alone and ban Moon. So they're going to do the opposite of what they should do, because again, Konami is not, they're an incompetent company. Like they don't actually understand game design or card design, right? Like they're just bad at their jobs, right? So this is what being bad at your job looks like, right? It's like it's banning Link Rebo, right? Or like in Master Duel, they banned terraforming. They limited Foolish Barrel Goods to 1 because Tier Limit was abusing it, and then eventually they hit Tier Limit. It's like, cool. Foolish Barrel Goods was a perfectly fine card. Why did it have to pay for Tier Limit sins? Or like Pod Duality went to 1 and Pot of Extravagance went to 1 because Runic Stun was abusing it. Again, why does do those cards have to suffer for the sins of Runic Stun? You know what I'm saying? Like stop hitting cards that are fine and actually hit the problem cards. It's so simple. All right. Anything else about Konami, or rather Fiendsmith? I think they should not touch Fabled Luri. There's a small chance that they hit Fabled Luri. Man, I could actually see them banning Fabled Luri. I really think they shouldn't, but because again, perfectly fine card on its own, it's not a problem. Yet, okay, like I think they're more likely to hit Moon than they are to hit Fabled Luri. If Moon is 65% ban from Konami, I think Luri is like a 45% ban. So I think I have to put that on a no change prediction. So I have to predict Konami to not touch Luri. Yeah. So yeah, I think Luri will be untouched by Konami, but I agree with that. But there's a large non-negligible chance that they do ban Luri, but I hope they don't. Other things in the card. Let's talk about Tract and Engraver. Tract and Engraver. So if they're not gonna ban Requiem, so I think they should ban Requiem, right? Then they should limit Engraver, and I actually do think an Engraver limit is reasonable. Mainly because if you get Engraver in the graveyard, let's say you hit it with a Bestial, Engraver is donezo, right? Or you hit it with a Call by the Grave, right? You can the Fiendsmith package is kind of dead, right? Whereas leaving Engraver at 3, it's like, okay, you can banish Engraver, but then they have 2 more Engravers. So I think limiting Engraver is a reasonable thing. So okay, so this is a little contradictory. If you ban Requiem, I don't think you need to limit Engraver, in my opinion. But because I'm pretty sure Konami will not ban Requiem, then I think they should limit Engraver. So I want to see Engraver limited on the cases where Requiem is not banned, which I don't think it will be because Konami sucks, right? So yeah. So I can actually see limit to Engraver. I think Fiend's Tract is fine. I would not touch this card. This card plays in the draw. It's a good Ash target. When there aren't that many good Ash targets in general, like because one Ash can just kill the Fiendsmith engine if you hit the Tract on it, right? Could I see them limiting Tract? It's like Luri, right? So Tract and Luri for me are like cards that I think Konami will not hit, but there's like a 45% chance that they do. It's like if Moon of the Closed Goddess was like 55% chance that they hit, I can see Luri and Track being like on the cusp of like maybe Konami hits these two cards, right? But I don't think they should because again, I think Track is fine on its own, and I think Luri is also fine on its own, right? Plus, it plays into a lot of hand traps. But yeah, Engraver absolutely should go to 1. All right. Is that all for Fiendsmith? I believe it is. Before we proceed to the next archetype, oh, sorry, Caesar. I think they should not touch Caesar. And I don't think they will because I don't know if you heard, but so Caesar like should be banned or stay at 3. I don't know if you heard, but there was a recent leak of the quarter century stampede or whatever it's called, which I think is coming out in mid-April, like April 11th or around there. That set is confirmed to have Caesar reprint in several rarities, right? So because I think they want to sell that, they're not going to hit Caesar now. I don't think Caesar should be hit because again, I don't think Caesar did anything wrong. I think it's fine if DDD players can make Caesar. In fact, DDD combos don't even consistently make Caesar. Like they make Caesar if they have a good opening hand. If they don't have a good opening hand or they get hand trapped along their combo, then they actually don't end on Caesar. They end on like some other cards, right? So I think Caesar's fine. And I don't see them Konami hitting it strictly because it's about to be reprinted. So my prediction is the ban list comes out before the quarter century Stampede does or Bonanza, whatever it's called. So they want to sell it, right? But I can see them hitting Caesar on the subsequent ban list. So like you know how Baron de Fleur was reprinted in the Radio collection, and as was Appaloosa, and then like one ban list later they got hit. So yeah, so I can see Caesar being hit on a future ban list, but not this one. I can see Caesar actually staying simply because he's getting the rarity upgraded reprints now. All right. Oh yeah, one card that is also on the cusp. Mathmech Circular. Do not touch this card. I don't think Konami's going to change it. I hope they forget about this card and leave it in the ban list forever because fuck this card. It's stupid. All right. Let's get into Ryzeal. Ryzeal is probably the next easiest one to tackle. I think these are hits that pretty much everyone agrees should be done, which are Bonfire to 1 and X Ryzeal to 1. Where's X? X. Here's X. So I think these are the easiest one. Bonfire because it's it's been out for a while. It's no longer like a super expensive chase card, right? But it's like Rhoda but for Pyros. So it's like if Rhoda's at 1, this card should be at 1, right? Very easy. And then X Ryzeal is like one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever printed in history. It's so good, right? It's Ryzeal's best card. That's not called Detonator, right? It's I have an insane value going second. So I do wish to see both these cards limit, and I can actually see it happening. So I will put these two under prediction as I think Konami will actually limit these two. I believe they were limited in the OCG, and that that definitely helped to curb the power of Ryzeal. I don't think any of the other Ryzeal names like starters need to be hit at all. I think X to 1, Bonfire to 1 will significantly reduce the power level of this, especially since like Prosperity is already at 1, right? It's like yeah, there's already a lot here going on for Ryzeal. All right, and finally the last Ryzeal card I want to talk about is Detonator. I think Detonator should go to 1, but I believe that Konami will not hit Detonator. So Detonator to 1 I think is warranted because Detonator is such a powerful boss monster, right? It's so insanely cracked. Like I think that I mean, first of all, Ryzeal, due to the existence of Eclipse Twins, already has a way to like cheat out 2 quote unquote detonators, and that if you out the first detonator, they can use Eclipse Twins to get it back on the same turn on a future turn. So I think that's okay. And yeah, so if the detonator was at 1, a card like Metaltronus, right? Let's say you banished your 1 copy of Ryzeal Detonator, or you managed to out it in some way. It should be a lot harder for them to like go back and like make a second Ryzeal Detonator. Like having the safety of that second one, the extra deck if the first one gets outed is like a little too strong, and it's like it's already a pain in the ass to out this guy, right? And I feel like the player that does, if you successfully out this guy, and like actually like you either banish him or something, should be rewarded a little bit more rather than like the Ryzeal players, oh, I'll just make another one like easily, right? Because it's like free, right, for Ryzeal to make a rank 4. So I want to see it limited, but I don't believe that Konami will do it. So yeah, I think Bonfire and X Ryzeal will be the only hits that Konami actually does to Ryzeal. I think in the OCG, Sword was limited. I don't know if that's. I mean, Sword is okay. It's like it's a normal summon search. It's very standard Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I don't know. I don't feel like Sword is a problem as much as X Ryzeal is, or Bonfire, right? Especially with Bonfire, like gives Ryzeal like options, right? So yeah, let's keep Bonfire limited. Although if Konami does end up you know hitting what is it, Ryzeal to Detonator to 1, I'll be very impressed, right? But I lean on them like not hitting it. Like if I give Luri and Tract like a 45% chance of being hit by Konami, I give Ryzeal Detonator like a 30% chance. It's like it could still happen, but I think it's a lot less likely than Tract or Luri. So yeah, so let's do that. And that is all. That's not all for Ryzeal. Abyss Dweller banned. I think that's something everyone can get behind. That Abyss Dweller will be banned. Not only is it just like it's too easy of a floodgate to access, but it's been problematic in so many other, like not just this format but previous format. Remember the tier limit mirror matchup? It's like, oh, it's like, oh, they have Abyss Dweller. It's like, oh, one player gets Abyss Dweller while the other one doesn't. It's like, oh, cool, I get to access my graveyard and you don't. Haha. Yeah, I don't like that kind of floodgate. I'd rather have floodgates that affect both players. I'm a fan of floodgates. I do think floodgates have a place in Yu-Gi-Oh. I just think that floodgates should affect, for the most part, both sides of the both players, right? So I think if Abyss Dweller was like, oh, but neither of us could access our graveyard, I think that'd be a lot more healthy for the game than like, oh, I can access my graveyard, but you can't, right? Or like I can use monster effects. So I can see Abyss Dweller being banned. So I do want, that is on my wish list, and I do think that Konami would actually do something like that. I think this is a very fair thing, and like pretty much something that everyone agrees on. All right, so yeah, I think that's all for Ryzeal Fiendsmith. So if we go along with if we go on this list on the right, like the deck is not completely dead, but it's a lot weaker. If we're going with this list on the right of my actual predictions, I think it'll be a lot more fair to play against, right? So I think this is a lot fair. Now let's talk about Maliss. So Maliss is kind of a weird deck in that a lot of its cards are like, especially its extra deck monsters, which are very impactful, by the way, like White Binder, they're already at 1, right? Now you could say, oh, should we ban Maliss White Binder? I think that's like, I don't think we should go that far yet. I think Maliss White Binder should be on the chopping block for a future ban list. So I think Konami should make some steps to deal with Maliss now, with some limits to like main deck monsters and cards, and only later, if Maliss still remains a problem, then we hit White Binder. And I think banning White Binder will kill the deck completely, right? Now, so let's talk about Dormouse. So I think Dormouse should be limited, and I can totally see Konami doing this. So limit Dormouse. I think all of the Bestials should be limited. So where are they? Druis Worm, Ball Drake, Saronir. I think all 3 of these should be limited. And I could actually see Konami doing something like this. So Magnemute is already limited. So I think it's very reasonable to see these being limited. So I think we can keep Bestial Lubellion at 3, right? So if anyone wants to have a real Bestial engine in their deck that has like regain and like has, I don't know, like dragons and stuff, I think it's very fine to have the 4 main Bestials at 1 each, right? Because that guarantees you see at least 1 in your opening hand, right? But like Bestials are fine when they disrupt your opponent, but I think they're problematic when they can both disrupt your opponent and like help you combo off, right? And I think with the Maliss cards, being able to use Bestials to help them combo is problematic, right? So, but hey, isn't that like hypocritical, right? Because didn't you say that like, oh, you should hit the problem decks, not the problem cards, right? So the thing about these Bishals is like Maliss is not the only problem deck that can sort of abuse them. Technically, a deck like Branded can as well, where they can like banish Mercourier and get like right, or they can banish Despian Tragedy, right? There's too many decks that can kind of like pop off from banishing their own monster, and it's part of the reason why, like for example, Gold Sarcophagus is banned. Sorry, is limited, right? And like the OCG tried to bring it back to 2, and then they immediately realized that was a mistake, and they put it back to 1. And I think maybe Master Duel did something similar. I don't know. So I think the Bishals are fine if they are at 1 each, right? I think if we limit Dormouse and like the other 3 Bishals, so Magnamune is not gonna be touched, right? And I didn't even put Magnamune on this list because I don't feel like it needs to be talked about. Yeah, I think that'll help curb Maliss tremendously. I also think the Maliss field spell should be limited. But will Konami actually do that? I don't know. I would lean on them not touching it over touching it. So I would put if I had to predict, I would give Konami like a 40% chance to limit the Malice in Wonderland field spell. But I would like to see it limited, but I don't think it will be. So any more Malice stuff? I think Allure of Darkness should not be touched. I can see Allure maybe being limited. Let me think. If I was Konami, the thing about Allure of Darkness is like in decks like Branded and Malice, they can get extra value out of it just based on the fact that like they can manage like a key dark monster that can be really useful to them. Or they can like easily recycle that banish card. Whereas other decks like for example maybe Dark World, right? Like do I think it's problematic for Dark World to run triple Allure of Darkness? I don't really think so. So I think they should not touch Allure of Darkness, but I could actually see Allure of Darkness being limited. Like I'll give it a 55% chance that Konami limits Allure of Darkness. I don't think they should, but I think that yeah. So I think they'll leave the Malice field spell alone, but they'll touch Allure of Darkness. But I think it's okay to leave Allure of Darkness alone. All right. Anything else? I guess on that note, terraforming, since we're talking about field spells, I think terraforming should not be touched, and I think Konami will not touch terraforming. It was banned in Master Duel only because of tier limits. I think terraforming is a fine card. It's a Rhoda for field spells, right? Rhoda's at 1. I think Bonfire should be at 1, and I think terraforming should be at 1. That's fine. Cool. Let's talk about Mermail. Oh, Mermail. What a cancerous deck. It's not even tier 1. It's like tier 1.5 or something. It was just one of those decks that's just so annoying. Everything about this Mermail deck is cancerous. It's like, of the top strongest decks in the format, I think Ryzeal as a concept is mostly fair. I think I think Fiendsmith is not. So I think again I say mostly fair. I think if you make these changes that I suggest, Ryzeal will become a fair deck, and so will Fiendsmith. Maliss is kind of obnoxious and bullshit, right? Which is why I want to see more ways to stop Maliss other than just hoping you just top deck the Lancia or the Chaos Hunter, although those will be still remain ways to deal with Maliss. But yeah, which is why I think limiting a lot of the starters like Dormouse, Bishals, Field Spell will go a long way. Mermail, everything about the Mermail deck is unfair. Like, there's not a single fair thing about the Mermail deck. Like, think about what the Mermail deck does. They turbo out Toad, totally awesome, which again, they do through level 4 lines. They don't even use a rank like level 2s to make a rank 2. They use literally Bahamut's Shark, right? Totally Awesome is banned in Master Duel and is banned in the OCG. I think that Totally Awesome should be banned in the TCG, and I can totally see them doing that. So I can actually see them finally hitting the Toad from the TCG so that it's in line with the other formats. The other Mermail cards, what's this one called? Mullen Glacia or whatever. I think that should be banned, and I think Barrier Statue of the Torrent should be banned. Again, it's like hand looping is not fun. Nobody likes hand looping. Konami, please stop creating hand loop cards. There's only a couple fair-ish hand loop cards in the entire game, and but most of them are cancers, right? Yeah, please ban these cards, right? So, again, Mermail, their goal is either floodgate you out with Barrier Statue, which is cancer, set up totally awesome, which is cancer, not once per turn, right? Or hand loop you, which is cancer. The whole deck, even though it's a tier 1.5 / tier 2 deck, it is just cancer. If you hit Ryzeal, Fiendsmith, Maliss, and we start seeing more Mermail, we need to preemptively hit the shit. Now, what will they actually ban these cards? I can actually see them doing this. Yes, I can actually see this happening. Yes. Now, on that note, so while we're talking about Barrier Statue of Torrent, I think we should go ahead and ban all the Barrier Statues. Barrier Statue of the Abyss can be cheated out using Chimera or Labyrinth, right? Barrier Statue of the Heavens can be cheated out using the Toy Box engine, right? Barrier Statue of the Drought can be cheated out using the Vernislip engine, right? And I would put a Barrier Statue of the Inferno because, well, I can't think of what off the top of my head like which deck can cheat this out. But hey, Barrier Statue of the Winds, you know, the Wing Beast one obviously got banned because Flu was able to cheat it out, right? Now, again, even though these Barrier Statues are not a problem right now, and if it will be in the future, but because Konami has no foresight, they're not going to touch these other Barrier Statues. I can see them completely ignoring these 4 Barrier Statues and hitting the Torrent one. So I can actually see this happening. Yeah, so fuck Mermail, fuck the Barrier Statues. Yeah, these should be gone. All right. Oh, actually, there's another Malice card we forgot to talk about. Link Decoder. I think they should not touch this card, but I can see them banning it. Yeah. Again, same line of reasoning as banning Link Rebo. Link Rebo was not a problem card. I don't think Link Decoder is really problematic, but you know maybe they'll just hit it anyway to curb Malice. Yeah. So let me actually slide this in more so that yeah. Okay. So there we go. Another. Now let's talk about all these other cards that are either using the format or like part of meta decks. I think they should not touch D Shifter, and I think they won't. I think D Shifter, we just need to accept that D Shifter is to the TCG what Max C is to the OCG. It's just our thing, right? We're just gonna have this card forever, and I think it's fine. I think D Shifter as a hand trap is fine. Yeah, stop thinking it's gonna get hit. It's not gonna get hit. Crossout Designator, I think, will be limited. I think it should be limited, and I think it will be limited. Crossout Designator, I get that, like, oh, everyone's running 18 hand traps. The reason we have to run 18 hand traps is because going second is impossible, right? But having 3 of Crossout Designators, right, makes it going second even harder, and I don't think that should be the case. So, Call by the Grave is at 1, right? Call by the Grave is another way to answer hand traps. I think Crossout Designator should also be at 1. On that note, I think Triple Tactics Talent should also be at 1, and I can see them actually hitting this. Talent, you know, is not an expensive card anymore. Talent is like it's like a pseudo Called by the Grave. What do I mean by that? Well, because everyone is running hand traps, right? Like a million hand traps, you're almost guaranteed. Talent, it's almost guaranteed to be live when you're going first. Talent going second, I think is fair. Talent going first is a problem, but it's more of a problem now than it was before because before, if they don't hit you with a hand trap, it's a brick. But nowadays, it's like impossible to not get hit with a hand trap. So this card is like always live, right? So typically what you do is like you get hit with a hand trap, then you talents, look at their hand, and rip a card from their hand. Either rip a starter, like a 1-card starter, so they can't combo next turn, or you rip another hand trap. Either way, this is like Call by the Grave. It's like pseudo Call by the Grave. Yeah. In Call by the Grave's case, you negate the hand trap that is being used against you, right? So they can't use it to stop you. With this one, you get hit with a hand trap, but then you rip another hand trap or a starter. You punish them by, right? So it's like you're negating a future quote unquote hand trap by getting it out of their hand. So yeah, I think talent will go to 1. And I'd be totally okay with like most deck building lists having like 1 called by, 1 cross out, 1 talent. I think that's totally fine as a way to like, okay, we don't want you to completely die to hand traps. So we want you to have some responsive to hand traps. But with talent, it's like, well, it's a lot. Plus, like, sometimes you want to see the talent going second. Plus, you can thrust in the talent going second, and I think that's totally fair. Like, leave thrust at 3, so you can thrust in the talent, and then you can use talent to like steal their monster, for example. So I think talent is less problematic than like Crossout, but like still should be limited, and I think will be limited. I can actually see Konami doing this. Now let's talk about these last 3 cards. All right, Little Knight. I've been saying forever that Little Knight should be banned. I don't think they'll touch it. Little Knight is a cancer card. I hate Little Knight. It's the worst. It's so fucking cancer. Any 2 bodies, you just like you get like double banishes. Like it's too good. Now people are like, oh, like people often compare Little Knight with like Typhon, and it's not because they came out at roughly the same time. But the thing is, Little Knight and Typhon are so completely different because Typhon is strictly going second card. No one is making Typhon going first. It doesn't happen, right? You're going first, you don't make Typhon. You make Typhon going second, and when you make Typhon, that's the end of your turn, and that you can't make any other monsters, right? And Typhon will help break your opponent's board, and even then, not necessarily because like Typhon can be stopped by like an Imperm or like a Veiler, for example. So Typhon is not guaranteed board breaking, but it's like oh fuck, if all else fails, you Typhon, right? Whereas Little Knight, it was you can help break your opponent's boards. But Little Knight is abused going first all the time. And I don't want, so that's the part that I don't like. I don't like people going first and making IP into Little Knight or like Unchained Soul, whatever, and like link your thing into Little Knight. I don't like that, right? So I think Little Knight should be banned. I don't think it will be. In the OCG, it's limited. I don't know why, because most people don't run more than one. But if the OCG is on route to possibly banning it in the future, like I think the TCG should just ban it. Of course they won't because they're spineless cowards. But I mean, Little Knight isn't even like that, this expensive chase card anymore because it's been reprinted, in like a previous rarity collection. So it's like you can get it for like under $10 or something. And again, most people just want one copy. So yeah, I think Little Knight should go, but I don't think it will. It will. Lightning Storm and Heavy Storm. People have often talked about Heavy Storm. And obviously I want to address Lightning Storm because it's currently semi-limited. All right. How about this, folks? I will allow Heavy Storm to come back if you also limit Lightning Storm. Again, my goal is to completely erase the semi-limit list from existence. There should not be any cards on the semi-limit list. So I will allow Heavy Storm to come back because a lot of people have been saying, oh, maybe it should come back because it's back in the OCG, it's back in the TCG. And is it really that much worse than Harpy's Feather Duster? Harpy's Feather Duster is at 1. Fine. I'll concede, okay, you can bring Heavy Storm back, but I want to see Lightning Storm to 1. If you're willing to do this trade, then please do. So yeah, I can actually see Konami bringing it back, but I actually would more likely predict them to leave Lightning Storm as is at 2. So I can see Heavy Storm to 1, and I can see Lightning Storm leaving at 2. So yeah, so this is my final list. Yeah, obviously there's a lot on here. Now for my prediction, I'm predicting Konami to ban 6 cards and limit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. Does that sound like a lot? Is it more than most lists? Yes, but I will say that because we've gone like 4, almost 5 months without a list, right? So was it all of December, January, February, March? Yeah, so we've gone 4 full months with no ban list, right? And my guess is they probably don't plan on releasing another ban list for another 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I think it'd be very reasonable for this ban list to just be bigger than that than normal. If we want to make the right side prediction a little bit more reasonable, I would actually move Allure down to no change. I would move Heavy Storm down to no change. I could actually see Talent being moved down to no change. I could see Barrier Statue, the Torrent down to no change. Yeah, so if we want to make the list quote unquote more realistic in that, oh no, there's no way they're gonna ban limit that many cards. Maybe Saronir to a no change. Yeah, could be a thing. But actually no, I think Saronir is more likely. No, let me put this. I again, these are all cards that I give Konami a greater than 50% chance to hit. So if it's greater than 50% chance, I can see them doing it. So yeah, let's actually put this here. Anyway, so that is my wish list on the left, and then my actual prediction. Like if I was a betting man, like what cards that I would predict Konami to hit. Yeah, I think this will significantly fix the format if we do this. Obviously, you can say, "Oh, you're biased because you just want Blue Eyes to be relatively stronger. You just want Odeon to be relatively stronger." I mean, yeah, I want my two favorite decks now, the TCG Kaiba and Odeon. Again, two anime decks that are fun as fuck, right? I obviously want them to be better, right, relative to the other decks. But I will say that number one, the Odeon deck is a lot more fair and easier to stop. Number two, I think the strongest version, quote unquote, of the Odeon deck right now is the Fiendsmith version. So I think like the dude that got that topped the Philadelphia regional with like 700 cards or whatever, or 700 players, and like some other tops, we're all running Fiendsmith. So if you address the Fiendsmith, I think that'll also keep Odeon at a relatively reasonable power level. But I also think like the Blue Eyes deck and the Odeon deck are just a lot more fair. They're a lot fairer decks, right? And they're also decks that I don't think will be getting any future support. Whereas we know for a fact Maliss and Ryzeal are getting future support. Like OCG has literally admitted to, oh yeah, there's more Maliss and Ryzeal cards coming. It's just like why? They're already problematic, right? So yeah, let's keep it at that. And yeah. I guess there's one card I forgot to bring up. 7 Tachyon. Because 7 Tachyon. Oh, if you want to limit Rotas, why not limit 7 Tachyon? 7 Tachyon just came out. Number one. Number two, it locks you in XYZ immediately, which means like Fiendsmith variants of Ryzeal they're locked out. Number three, you have to. It's a searcher that requires you to dedicate some some weird extra deck monsters to it, right? So I think 7 Tachyon will stay the same just because it's such a new card. I don't think it's as problematic as Bonfire. Um, and like it's a little bit more of a cost than Bonfire. Bonfire is just kind of like free, quote unquote. Whereas 7 Tachyon is like, I think you're neg one, right? Because you play a card to add a card, but you put a card back. So if you have 5 cards you start with, play, add, and return. Yeah, you're down to 4 cards. So it's like, yeah, you're neg one technically by playing 7 Tachyon. So yeah, I think 7 Tachyon will just stay the same. Just yeah. For now. Although it is on the watch list, right? It is on the chopping block. Oh, maybe in the future, this card might be a problem. Maybe we'll hit it in the future, right? So anyway, yeah. So hope you enjoyed my video, and that we'll see how correct I end up being. But I will say that my list, my list, this is like a 9,001 IQ prediction / wish list. Yeah, Konami should just hire me, and I'll run their man list, and everyone will be happier, right? Because obviously Konami doesn't know what they're doing. So, all right. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. See you on the next one. Peace.